After causing an uproar and receiving a ton of backlash for saying that the halftime performance by Atlanta State University's very popular plus-size dancers, the Honeybees, was an ad for Ozempic.
Congratulate them. They're now the new face of Ozempic.
Florida A&M's president Marva Johnson had to issue an apology saying that the comment made by Joe Bullard, a veteran radio host and Florida A&M's band announcer, was unacceptable and that it will not be tolerated. So since that step has been done, we know that the next step in this process of trying to walk back something that you said and really meant is a public apology. Joe Bullard has released one. He said that his comment was meant to be lighthearted banter that is typical in HBCU band culture, and I agree. I mean, we all know that getting on a mic in front of a ton of people and calling college girls fat is always a real knee slapper. The biggest takeaway about this for me is that Joe Bullard has spent practically his entire adult life working in radio. He's in his 50th season serving as the announcer for Florida A&M. He started back in '75. He's been inducted into the National Black Radio Hall of Fame, received many other accolades over the years, and all of this means that he is a professional. In the truest sense of that word, he is a professional. He's incredibly experienced at what he does, and that means that he knew good and hell well that what he was about to say was inappropriate and disrespectful. He knew he wasn't saying it in jest as part of the two schools' rivalry. He said it because he wanted to and because he knows the mile-long leeway that's given to black males who are considered too accomplished to fall. He knows he's a part of a culture where publicly disrespecting the women is tolerated. Someone made a comment saying, "Here Joe goes, putting his foot in his mouth again." And I knew even before reading that this wasn't a one-off, especially not being a male who's on the damn radio. And sure enough, in an interview in 2024, he said that he's had to issue apologies before, because I guess he is known for making wild comments like that. And he gave an example where he said that Florida A&M was at Southern University, and when the Southern majorettes came out, he said on the mic that they're unbelievable. Like, just absolutely hilarious and completely original. But he said that the Florida A&M president at the time, Dr. Elmira Mangum, he said she just shook her head and said, "They're going to kill us." He claimed in that interview that since then he's calmed down because after that game, he overheard a grandmother who didn't know that she was standing next to the announcer say how she felt. She was upset that her grandbaby was talked about like that. So he said that put things into perspective, that I'm talking about somebody's child, daughter, whatever. Fast forward to September 2025, and he's talking again about somebody else's grandbaby being an ad for Ozempic. Does he ever make fun of the males? I mean, this seems to be one of black males' favorite things on earth, which is to talk about black women's hair. And now you got him talking about black college students, I should say. Wait. But this is what happens when you give the males in your community carte blanche public degradation passes, where the women have stopped drawing lines in the sand when it comes to respectfulness and boundaries, because it's easier and too embarrassing, frankly, to know that if you draw another one, the males are going to just walk right over it. And talking about this issue is not taking it too far. It's not making a mountain out of a molehill, like I see some people saying, especially the males. Because do we think that Joe Bullard would have understood the difference between playful banter and outright disrespect if he was the announcer for Michigan State or some other predominantly white school? Do we think he would have understood that mentioning Ozempic in front of an entire stadium of people would be a bit too far? He would have known it the same way a child knows to try something with one parent but not the other. That the consequences for a black male disparaging YT college girls has a higher chance of being much more drastic than it is when he's talking about black girls. Because there is a comfort that black males have when it comes to publicly disparaging black women or girls, one that they do not have when it comes to non-black women or girls. Thankfully, in this situation, and most likely due to this story gaining so much attention, Joe Bullard has to face some accountability. The Southwestern Athletic Conference has issued Florida A&M University a public reprimand and a $10,000 fine. Joe Bullard himself has been suspended for the next 2 upcoming football games. It has still not been announced if he will face any disciplinary action from Florida A&M themselves. And what's really crazy about this is he actually just joined the university in a different capacity than he has been for the past, I think they said the 50th season. He just announced that he is now a part of the university's radio station, and the VP of the school, Alonda Thomas, said that he is a part-time consultant in the School of Journalism and Graphic Communication. So this dude just got there, and he is already costing them money. And the reason he's available for these new positions is because he was let go from his other job at 96.1 Jams in June. He filed a lawsuit against the station saying that they fired him due to age discrimination, but the lawsuit also mentions that an HR director and station manager told him that he was banned from Disney properties in any professional capacity for an alleged sexually inappropriate comment to a female Disney employee during an event in May. He, of course, denies the allegations.